Let's be brutally honest. Stupidity isn't just about intelligence. It's about self-sabotaging behaviors that keep a man stuck, weak, and blind to his own failures. The real danger? A stupid man never realizes he's stupid. As Carl Jung famously said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." And that's exactly what happens. Men trap themselves in cycles of failure, blaming bad luck, circumstances, or even others, instead of confronting their own flaws. Why does this matter? Because these traits don't just affect the man himself. They poison his career, relationships, and personal growth. A man who refuses to recognize his own destructive patterns is doomed to repeat them, dragging himself and those around him down. If you want to avoid these traps or recognize them in others, listen carefully. Here are 6 undeniable signs of a stupid man. Sign number 1. He thinks he knows everything. Nothing screams ignorance louder than a man who refuses to learn. Why? Because he believes he has all the answers. He never questions himself, never admits when he's wrong. He argues about topics he knows nothing about, yet speaks with the confidence of an expert. The Dunning-Kruger effect. Psychologists David Dunning and Justin Kruger found that people with the least knowledge often think they know the most. This illusion of superiority leads them to overestimate their abilities while dismissing real expertise. Even ancient wisdom warns us of this flaw. A fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing his opinion. Proverbs 18:2. Carl Jung put it bluntly. Thinking is difficult, that's why most people judge. The real-life consequences. Stagnation. A man who refuses to learn never grows. Damaged relationships. People lose respect for someone who never listens. Poor decision-making. When he ignores wisdom, he repeats the same costly mistakes. What a smart man does. Instead, he asks questions instead of assuming he knows everything. He seeks mentors who can guide him. He challenges his own beliefs rather than clinging to them stubbornly. Wisdom begins with humility. The moment a man admits he doesn't know everything, he starts to learn. Sign number 2. He never takes responsibility. A foolish man always has an excuse. Instead of admitting his own shortcomings, he blames everything and everyone around him. Bad luck, society, his boss, his family, even women. No matter the situation, he finds a way to shift responsibility away from himself. As Carl Jung wisely put it, people will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. This mindset keeps him trapped in a cycle of failure. Rather than acknowledging his flaws and working to improve, he chooses the comfort of victimhood. Owning up to his mistakes would require effort, self-reflection, and change, things he is unwilling to face. The consequences of this mindset are severe. He remains stuck in the same patterns, repeating the same failures over and over. People around him lose respect for him, recognizing his inability to take accountability. Ultimately, he surrenders control over his own life, becoming a passive participant rather than an active creator of his future. In contrast, a wise man does the opposite. He takes full responsibility for his actions, knowing that accountability is the first step toward growth. Instead of making excuses, he analyzes his mistakes and learns from them. Rather than blaming others, he focuses on solutions, finding ways to improve himself and his circumstances. By embracing responsibility, he gains respect, control, and the ability to shape his own destiny. Here's a refined version of your passage, with improved flow and clarity. Sign number 3. He can't control his emotions. One of the clearest signs of a foolish man is his inability to control his emotions. Instead of responding with wisdom, he reacts impulsively, allowing his feelings to dictate his actions. Common behaviors of an emotionally weak man: the hothead, loses his temper over minor inconveniences. The overreactor treats small setbacks as catastrophic failures. The impulsive man makes rash decisions he later regrets. As Carl Jung wisely said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." A man who lacks emotional control remains a prisoner of his impulses, blaming fate instead of taking responsibility. Why is this dangerous? He is easily manipulated. His emotions, not logic, dictate his choices. He damages relationships with outbursts and instability. What a strong man does instead: pauses before reacting. He thinks before he speaks or acts, uses emotions as motivation, not destruction. He channels frustration into productive action. Practices self-awareness. He understands his triggers and manages them wisely. Biblical wisdom: a fool gives full vent to his anger, but a wise man quietly holds it back. Proverbs 29:11. A strong man masters his emotions. A foolish man is ruled by them. Which one will you choose to be? Sign number 4. He surrounds himself with fools. A man's future is often shaped by the people he keeps close. The company you surround yourself with can either elevate you or drag you down. If you choose to remain in the presence of negative thinkers, lazy individuals, and yes men, you are setting yourself up for stagnation. Negative thinkers constantly complain about life, but never take steps to change it. Their mindset can seep into your own, making you question your abilities and dreams. Lazy people, on the other hand, lack ambition and refuse to grow. By sticking with them, you risk adopting their passive attitude toward success. And yes, men, they won't challenge your bad decisions, leaving you blind to your mistakes. Carl Jung's theory on the unconscious mind highlights the influence of those around us. We subconsciously absorb the habits, attitudes, and mindsets of the people we spend the most time with. So, if you surround yourself with a broke, lazy, and unmotivated circle, don't be surprised if you find yourself stuck in the same rut. On the contrary, a wise man understands the value of being around those who challenge him. He seeks out ambitious, disciplined, and intelligent individuals, people who will push him to be better. He actively looks for mentors and successful role models who can guide him on his path to success. By surrounding himself with greatness, he ensures that he too will grow and reach his full potential. Sign number 5. He avoids discomfort and growth. A foolish man chooses comfort over challenge, believing that avoiding discomfort will keep him safe and at ease. However, by avoiding discomfort, he also avoids growth. Growth requires pushing past comfort zones, learning new skills, and confronting challenges head-on. The man who refuses to learn new skills, sticking instead to outdated methods or routines, misses the opportunity to evolve. He often avoids difficult conversations and constructive feedback, as these situations bring discomfort but are essential for personal and professional development. By running away from these uncomfortable moments, he remains stagnant, unable to improve or adapt to new circumstances. Carl Jung wisely stated, "There's no coming to consciousness without pain," acknowledging that growth and self-awareness require facing difficult truths. Choosing comfort is ultimately self-destructive. It creates a false sense of security while leading to stagnation. Without challenge, there's no opportunity for growth, and without growth, a person cannot reach their full potential. A life spent avoiding discomfort is one where mediocrity reigns. In contrast, a wise man faces discomfort head-on. He understands that challenges are the gateway to growth and seeks knowledge even when it seems difficult. He learns from his failures, seeing them not as setbacks, but as stepping stones to success. The wise man embraces the discomfort of learning, evolving, and pushing boundaries, ultimately achieving a life of progress and fulfillment. Sign number 6. He thinks success will come without hard work. A foolish man expects success to fall into his lap without putting in the necessary effort. His mindset is shaped by the belief that luck or fate will eventually change his life, and he doesn't need to actively pursue his goals. He often waits for opportunities to come his way, rather than creating them through hard work and initiative. When faced with challenges, he's quick to quit, seeing obstacles as insurmountable rather than opportunities for growth. In the real world, this mindset leads to wasted time and missed chances. The foolish man spends years hoping for success, but when it doesn't arrive, he tends to blame external factors, such as bad luck or unfair circumstances, instead of recognizing the need to work harder. Without putting in the effort, he never develops the skills or knowledge required to achieve anything of value. Consequently, he fails to build a meaningful future. On the other hand, the wise man understands that success requires consistent effort, discipline, and sacrifice. He doesn't expect instant results and works diligently even when progress seems slow. He knows that success doesn't happen by chance, but is the product of intentional actions and decisions. By taking control of his future and actively pursuing his goals, the wise man builds the foundation for long-term achievement and fulfillment. Now take a moment and ask yourself, do any of these signs apply to you? If so, are you willing to change? The difference between a fool and a wise person lies not in intelligence, but in the actions they take. Wisdom comes from self-awareness, growth, and responsibility. So, challenge yourself.